4 and Mario are touring for memes in town a la Pokemon Snap until Zack sees the meme lord praising him for his output in the entertainment industry. However, he gets his name wrong, since he's mistaken for another YouTuber named Gooby4. Upon inspection, the channel Zack mentioned happens to be a Finger Family channel impersonating SMG4, urging him to report the offender at YouTube HQ. How do you think they usually handle it?
We do not care.
Resorting to the next best thing, Ford devises a plan to pull it from the roots by traveling to the channel itself through Tari's powers. He and Mario make it to the world of youth traumatization, with the former unbothered by his surroundings, thanks to his IQ being remarkably similar to the Dimension's intended audience. No one's allowed to swear due to the censors, so at the very least it's safe from getting turned into another stupid VC-pop meme. After trekking through a kid-friendly bootleg version of their home, out comes Johnny, a baby creature that happens to be the ruler of this corrupted realm. He tries to brainwash the duo into becoming like them, with Ford escaping Johnny's grasp and Mario easily submitting to it for his lack of taste. After attempted hit and run, Johnny turns into a monster composed of his brethren, including the Scatterbrain. The Guardian is pursued until he crashes into a literal content factory plagued with legally distinct characters as far as the eye can see. Using a piece of the pile and reciting a phrase even Ford recoils to it, it frees him from the rubble. Ford spotted by the abomination in a subway, so he rides on a train fueled by singing. They crash at the dead end, destroying the monster and leaving Johnny powerless. Ford unleashes his inner Tiger Woods on the tour with a frying pan. While Mario is mostly back to normal, they go out to the lab with the Italian demonstrating a new joke he learned and gets blasted from some sense into him. It's time like this when it's necessary to act your age. 7.5 out of 10. Cringe is too nice to describe this genre of videos. The episode is undoubtedly a satire of an issue that's plagued this website for several years. I don't need to tell you why ElsaGate, Finger Families, or what have you is not only terrible entertainment, but also harms the youth. If memory serves us well, this was most likely fueled by one of their creations becoming a victim of these types of channels. It's the price to pay for popularity, but personally I don't think South Parking the hell of this degeneracy should go unnoticed, and for the most part, it's well deserved. But SW, isn't SMG4, isn't a content farm? Let me stop you right there so you listen closely. Luke and Kevin aren't traumatizing kids. In fact, they weren't directly showing Elsa gay content here since that would actually piss off Neil, so then went with a PG depiction of those videos. Just because you don't like this episode or subject matter doesn't mean you should twist their intentions of the production. I don't want to waste any more time on this donkey crap argument, so go watch my video on this controversy. I got bigger fish to fry later in this video. Back to the episode itself, it's absolutely not flawless since the chase sequence could have used more time in the oven. Not to mention, if they were really committed to the idea, a small message about dangers of content forms would have added cherry on top to this revenge Sunday. It might have been not matter to the specimen of Ellen's World, since cherry picking is their favorite pastime, but it sure would have to guys like me who are against atrocities like Finger Families, and children should be protected from them at all costs. If you don't understand it's possible to poke fun at ElsaGate, or tragically on the crusade to hunt down anyone who does, then check out Jabroni Mike. He's been reacting to this garbage for ages, laughing at how bad this stuff can be, and recently held a contest for who can make the most absurd Finger Family parody. The entries are ironically more entertainment than the real thing. As the old saying goes, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. But they don't exactly tell you where the lemons came from, if you catch my drift. This isn't the only surprise we got this month, so let's give this one a look.
There's a bear down here if you missed this jump. But me being the amazing acrobat, for fuck, where's the bear? Oh my, oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, what's this now? An iconic hit is getting remastered, let alone the first episode I ever watched? This is a welcome surprise. I don't need to spend too much time on either, as the story is 1-1, but some jokes were edited out or updated, even some references don't match with the timeline. It's Mario getting arrested for pretending to be a psychic. Then he gets out of jail by getting a security job at Freddy's and torments the robo-furries at the end of the shift. Predictably, it gets a perfect score for being mostly the same video it was almost 10 years ago. While the original is still up for those who prefer it, Freddy's Spaghettiria is undoubtedly one of the series' most important episodes, and we're talking about its rise of popularity and how it started one of its traditions. That being poking fun at internet culture. We could go on how nostalgic it is to at fault. Since early 2010s, YouTube was something for a lot of us. But we had to admit there was some stuff that deserved to be left behind, or at least refrain from emulating out in public. I understand tweaking some of the jokes can be sacrilege to Puritans, but the core idea of the episode remains intact, which is just enough for a remaster, unless you're one of those who forgot what that word means. This could be another one-off that the show occasionally drops, or starting next year these will pop up more often with other fan favorite videos, since they're easier to make from a creative standpoint. This will be just fine as stand-ins for the new stuff if they have to pump the brakes on production without skipping weekly uploads. The only negative I could really think is dealing with the sob stories of those who think they ruined the originals. Let me tell you, if classic SMG4 truly was their child, that speaks for itself, considering they're not old enough to understand why old media gets remade all the time with varying quality, just like everything in life. Or the first remaster they've never been excited for is this GTA Definitive Edition. On to the next.
Fires for cooking s'mores, son. Get a real weapon, son. Somewhere your father is weeping because...
I wonder how, I wonder why, yes.
Mario and 4 head to Coffee and Bomb, seeing 3 desperately hiding every explosive because of an inspection on the way. Yes, who knew selling weapons will risk your business into ceasing operation? Unless you own a Walmart. While they try to helping him out, they find an unconscious demo man who earlier passed out from excitement of his fetish. The health inspector, who happens to be Swag, arrives, so the gang go to Plan B and disguise the remaining bombs to avoid suspicion. Of course he buys it, as well as the Corpse 4 used as a puppet, because not everyone in the military is exactly packing a high IQ. So 3 passes the inspection and hands him a complimentary cigar before they could relax. Mario reveals he moved the bombs over to the castle, but also lit every fuse to get rid of them. If he really was on some disability, I'd like to see that excuse applied in real life. 4 and 3 helplessly panic, as they might have to rebuild the castle. But in the nick of time, Demo Man wakes up and smelling the smoke and steps in to defuse them by singing. Devilman wants to take them for his collection, 3 wants them to pay instead, but 4 insists it's on the house. They take the stuff to his truck until Swag comes back, revealing he pretends to be expected to snag the bombs for himself and has brought some backup, not wanting to give them up to a selfish Second Amendment bro. They faced off like any good Fortress man would. Then Devilman pulls his finishing move, mutating into a sunflower, which motivates his team to take out the bad guys. He wishes them a Merry Christmas, driving away with his reward, and 4 asks his buddy for a free latte. Not exactly the best time for someone who has to restock this product thanks to him giving away the bombs. 7 out of 10. Need more bombs. This is pretty much a regular situation, but with a twist ending with a Payload TF2 match, which is just nice for a video game parody series inspired by it. I enjoyed 3 and 4's role, while the landmark Dunes, Mario, and Swag almost do nothing for me, other than moving the plot along. They obviously need more jokes other than being the butt of ones. It is unnecessary for stupid characters to stand out in some fashion. 4 puppeteering demoman's unconscious body, and the man turned himself into a flower were the funniest parts, saving the episode from being average. Why Swag wasn't more explosive when he's already part of the military other than an excuse to spice up the danger in his life is beyond our knowledge. And here we are, guys, the final video of the season. Hope you've been good this year. In theory, since another pudgy guy in the red has come to town.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.
The holidays are here as SMG4 prepares the first Christmas party in the new castle. But it seems 3 is taking up all the power for his own party in the cafe. 4 is annoyed by this, but 3 refuses to take down any of his decorations. And the 2 challenge each other to throw the better bash for their chums. The Indigo Adversary advertised his event on the tube, which the gang catches up Mario's house, where they are about to enter with eggnog. But 4 stops him to say his party is a token of appreciation for helping him go through what has to be the toughest years of his life. To which 3 rebuts that he deserves something for dropping his evil past through their adventures. The gang go to the castle first, so the 3 hands him out gifts to lure him in his cafe. Maggie catches up to his antics and tells him to cut out, but changes her tune with the new splatter shot. 4 sees everyone's gone, then goes full on Wicker Man, forcing them back in the castle. 3 releases a gingerbread army, which he tried to serve the guests earlier, scaring them back to the castle, scaring back to the cafe, and so on and so on. As revenge for getting caught in the crossfire, Santa, along with the old man, dropped 2 nukes on the buildings, destroying all the decorations with both men in sorrow over their parties being ruined. Making a copy addresses that festivities are necessary to celebrate, as well as the holiday promotes being close with your loved ones. It does let some people go over the top and do stupid things. Just take a look at the dozens of movies about celebrating the holiday that they're nothing more than content for YouTube critics, or a better example. Pre-COVID Black Fridays. Bob has the bright idea to celebrate at his place, a dump, but the group think it's better than nothing. Everyone's invited to sing a traditional ditty with 4 and 3 realize they have been on edge, settling their differences again. While Old Man and Santa plan world domination. Pretty sure it's the eggnog tugging, and they'll likely crash the sleigh soon. 8 out of 10. A Christmas Carol of Craziness. It's another altercation between the frenemies. While they might be fighting their own careers anymore, the Christmas spirit encourages them to do it at it again. The smart thing that will be holding one festival outside since they both share the area, but of course the right decisions aren't always entertaining to watch. Some of the characters stand out more than the others, and because it's a holiday episode, it's expected to be relatively lighthearted, especially the ending. The closing joke with Santa and the old man is kind of funny, but unnecessary for interfering with the heartwarming vibe it goes for. This special is good enough for someone's heart to grow 3 sizes. Happy holidays if you're one of those War on Christmas folks.
Happy shut the fuck up.
And that's a wrap for SMG4 in 2023. I sure do have thoughts about this season, so let's talk about that. I want to start this off saying this is one of the best years for the channel in a while. We haven't to get a bunch of episodes that aren't Mario centric compared to last year. As it seems that the issue from last year got addressed over time, we got 2 movies focused on heavier themes, the most unique Wolfie special to date, new and improved character designs, and a brand new setting that does justice to the nature of the series. The character variety gradually got better throughout the year, though that's not to say it's been completely fixed since some minor characters are needing some major roles, but I will personally take that over Mario being shoehorned in stories that doesn't require his presence any day, if that means we get more unique episodes. The Wednesday videos, while fine as they are, need a little change up to stay interesting, even though some viewers overhype this content for their own good. Renaming them from Mario Does Things to SMG4 Crew may seem like a basic rebrand, but it does show they want to make each video distinct from each other and to have Mario carry the entire show by himself. It would be still great to see The other characters have their own dedicated reactions and activities. But that will be an oversight for something. But that's not really the main focus of the channel. I'm not in charge of how the crew paces themselves working on content, nor do I behave like how I know what's best for them. They're pretty much set for next year unless some big YouTube event disadvantages all again. If only I could stop the video right here and sing the praises of yet another solid year of content. I wish you guys a happy new year. Unfortunately, calling out the bad is more important than celebrating the good, which I wish 2022 was the last year I had to do this, but I can't delay this any further.
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy. The first time somebody told me that, I don't know, I thought they were bullshitting me, so boom, I shot him. The thing is, okay, he was right. And then I started seeing it everywhere I looked, all these fucking pricks, everywhere I looked, doing the exact same fucking thing, over and over and over and over and over again, thinking, this time is going to be different. No, please. This time is going to be different. I'm sorry. I don't like the way you are looking at me. Okay? You have a fucking problem in your head. Do you think I'm bullshitting you? Do you think I'm lying? Fuck you! Oh, fuck you!
I did not want to revive this segment. I expect controversy on a couple of episodes this year as usual. I do recognize that SMG4 isn't a stranger to meaningless drama and is prerequisites for any big YouTuber. But there's one thing I can't stand anything more than the rest, and that's liars. Liars as in so-called fans who twist a narrative portraying supposedly their favorite creators are sleazy, ignorant, or even sadistic because of a joke or episode they didn't find funny, or a character they personally dislike. Then in their blind range, you go out of the way to create this routine of making mountains out of molehills and make the show look worse than it actually is. And then you proceed to harass villainize people who call you out for speaking nonsense by calling them fanboys and bootleggers. Because there's too many screws loose in your brain. That this is what I describe a healthy portion of the SMG4 fanbase on Twitter and Reddit. And it should go without saying how terrible they already handle discussion of fiction, good or bad. This year, I had to deal with their impatience because of the story the crew are telling in parts instead of one linear ongoing arc. The same thing these fans have been complaining about for the past 5 years. Well, this time, they've been on a tirade over the story taking its time that they treat it as one big problem affecting the series and throw away many of the regular episodes, calling them filler. Because they believe those couldn't be enjoyed on their own. At best, they'll use their brain and take a break from the show and wait for the story video, but 90% of the time they throw a tantrum and demand a saga to be continued immediately and throw insults at the creators. It's like they forgot there's millions of YouTube channels and other cartoons they can watch with or without streaming in the meantime. But sadly, it looks like SMG4 glitches. The only thing they talk about and would nitpick them for days if it means gaining followers on a dying platform. That's not the only aspect they've been fixated on. No matter what day it is, these fans will find a way to bemoan and complain about the root of all evil, Megan Spitzer. Yes, this fictional specimen is apparently a modern-day dictator since she's been kicking their pets and killing their grandmas. 7 years in, and they can't let this girl go. For some reason, they can't get on her case whenever she acts as silly as her peers or the straight man to their stupidity sends to them. Characters aren't allowed to have multiple personalities to be interesting. It also doesn't matter if they think she was better as a generic tomboy or a Trump victim, because her worst crimes are standing up to herself and calling out her best friend when he acts like a spoiled child. They basically turn Mario into Manny Halfley. He's allowed to do anything he wants without consequences, even when he deserves it, like in the newest Pokemon episode. simply because he is the universe's avatar. No one is allowed to lay a finger on him despite the world turning out okay. Every episode, including the moments where he puts himself in danger. Just imagine if these men tried to play a Mario game with this mentality, they'd break their control on any level. Some of them even beg for him to be the next major villain of their series as revenge against his friends for knocking some sense into him. As if the events of those episodes, including some that are over a year old, carrying over completely, thus making a problem that is acknowledged in the show itself. These people have been weaponizing criticism over the past year. If you dare correct them in any sense or try to calm down by telling them to watch something else, they either block you or tell everyone in their circle that you're a doxer because you call them out for being insane. You also can't take their criticism seriously with how much they constantly contradict themselves, make these wild claims that SMG4 is no better than an Elsagate channel and such, which how many big YouTubers have been cancelled in 2023 alone. SMG4 and Facebook are the ones who should be brought to justice for making cartoons. A far from more evil deed than crypto scams, grooming children, and charity fraud. I've gone over controversies ad nauseum for long enough that there should be a documentary on it by now. It makes discussions of them more and more a chore without tedious and pettiness. What the fuck happened to just sitting down and enjoying the show? Why take a cartoon super seriously and treat it like a conspiracy of the showrunners personally making you miserable? The sad reality is any public figure will receive criticism regardless if it's warranted or not. Because society wouldn't function without conflict, even if humans have to force it where it doesn't belong. I just want to move on and be done this already. The truth is these guys deserve better regardless of what you think of them. Even if I'm talking to a brick wall at this point, I know I'm right. Being content creators for 12 years and keeping a clean track record is no easy feat. Especially with how much darkness is shown in this space nowadays. The fact one of the Glitch's biggest projects this year was a single 25-minute video that exceeded their expectations speaks volumes to their talent. No matter how many channels are reaching out to it. Their artists wanted to have saved animation by just entertaining people with what they're good at, because folk with too much money will rather stick to what works in the short term. So the small guys deserve credit for making something we can enjoy outside of TV. We should wish them the best of luck on their journey if we don't like everything they put out. To wrap things up, SMG4 is still providing laughter even if its methods have changed over time, and change is something we shouldn't be automatically afraid of because it can surprise us with what good it brings. Everybody's been talking about the longest running YouTubers retiring and how it's inevitable and sad to see them go, but I argue we should focus more on the ones who are staying right now because we want to be ready for when their time comes. Have enough time to keep the memories of their content alive and cherish the respect we have for each other. To make sure that controversy and tragedy don't triumph over harmony and joy. To validate content creators as people who deserve to be remembered. Luke and Kevin arguably are still a long way from there, but I say they already made their destination and hope their story doesn't abruptly end. As always, I wish them and their team well within the coming years. As a true fan of their work, and I thank my viewers for sticking around and hope to see more of you this year. Stay safe, hope you have a happy holidays and New Year, and peace out.